Hey, students, today I'm going to demonstrate how to operate carefully the miter saw. This is a compound miter saw that we're going to use to make some cuts. And for you, Mr. Goodson, I want to show you some safety features of my saw so that you'll be able to operate it safely, carefully, without incidents. I want you to notice that anything that you say probably means to you that it's danger, which is correct. Don't touch anything in the rig. Okay, the first thing we want to point out about the miter saw is that it has a retractable blade guard. And you want to always check your blade guard to make sure that it works, because if it doesn't work, your hand can get inside the rig and could cause an injury or an accident. That's the first thing. We want to check that. If you can, what we're going to do is we're going to check the blade. So what we're going to do, we're going to unplug it from the power source. And with the blade unplugged from the power source, we're able now to take the blade guard. And I want you to just gently look at the blade, making sure there's no broken or chips or bent places on the blade that could come loose and cause some type of incident or injury. That's the first thing that we're doing, just checking the blade. Okay? All right. Go ahead on and pull the guard up. All right. Okay, that's good, sir. That's good. All right, let it go right down. Now, we're going to also now show you how it is actually how you operate the camera. Go ahead and put the power source back up, Mr. Good. Okay, this power source back together. All right, now notice that on the power cord, it has a light inside of it to let you know that it is working. So you don't have to see if it's on. If the light power is on, then your power source is connected, you know it's on. That's going to save you some time. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is talk about the saw itself and the base that it sits on. This is a 10-inch compound miter saw. 10 inches means that it was cut through a 5-inch piece of wood. Okay, and to cut it, what we first have to do is just push straight down on it, and that's how it operates. Just take a piece of wood, and I'll demonstrate to you what we talk about when we cut straight down. Not cut it on, I'm just going to show you. We pass it straight through, and that cuts it off. It'll cut up to a 10-inch board because it has to slide. They have to slide and gauge on it. And then you can pull it out and push. Pull it out and push. You only use that method when you got better than 6 inches, because 6 inches straight down, it'll cut it. If it's more than 6, you have to pull it out and cut, pushing on forward. Okay? All right, the next thing I want to show you about cutting fitted. Now this cut here is a straight miter cut or a 90-degree cut. 90 degrees. Okay, it's cut straight off. We can rotate the blade by rotating the base to different degree mark. And the degree mark is set up. You see 0. And it graduated in 10 degrees. So they got some standard degrees, 22.5, it locks in place, 35, 40, that's what those holes are for. Then it locks in place. So I'll just put it back at 0, and it'll roll around and you can see it. Here's the guard that tells you where it stops at. See, it stops on 45. Yeah. When you're checking your work and you've been used many times, you want to check to make sure that someone has not moved this or it's not lined up properly. So you want to go ahead on and do that. And this will come around to 90 degrees. Okay, and this is cut. It cuts right, and it cuts left. Okay, to get it to operate, you unloose. Got a trigger here. Push down, push up, and that allows you to rotate the blade. Okay. All right, I'm gonna put it back at 0 for you. Now I'm gonna lock it in place because when I lock it in place, it doesn't move. Now let me see you rotate it to 45 to the right. Loose, okay. We just put it to the bottom and rotate it around using your guide. Okay, lock in place by itself. Lock it in place. Good. That's how you rotate it to cut at a 45-degree angle. And when we cut a 45-degree angle, it looks similar to this cut that we have here. We're going to cut in just a minute. We're going to first go through it. All right, put it back at 0. It operates the same way to the left and right. It'll fall in place by itself. It locks into the plastic. Okay, good. Now, we have some bench supports here. So if wood is long, if it's not long enough to sit on the bench by itself, or if it's longer than that piece, and I get a demonstrate to you, you have to have support. So we're gonna get that piece for you. And I'll show you this one. What it's used for. Hold it. That's over there. You want to make sure that the fence and the base is the same height. To adjust the height of the fence on the back. It's a little red dot, see? So you're not going to touch it unless you're getting ready to make some adjustments. So what we do is we'll set a piece of wood up here and find out where it sets at. And if it's not high enough, you just want to take your hand, push it up gradually until it touches. And then lock it. Okay, so that is the wood is level. Okay, it's okay if it's not exactly 100. You don't have to put a level on it. You can use your eye because it's just a support. Okay, that levels it up just like that. Now go to the other side and level the other side. Okay. All right. That's enough. All right, there you go. Tighten it up. Good. You do that when you're supporting long lumber that has to reach out like 8 foot or longer to support it. Okay. Anything longer than that, we build a bench onto it to help make it. Very much like the saw we have on the wall over there. Okay, see that long bench on that saw? So this is important. Okay, now that you know a few things about the operation part of it, I want to also let you know that about another safety feature what you do. If the blade safety, hold this piece of wood for me. The blade safety. All right, and when it's not in use, you want to always lock the blade down. Right now the blade's over the guard, but sometimes the guard doesn't always work and doesn't always come down. One of the safety features I want you to do is always lock it in place. Take it by pulling it out, locking it in place. It's this right here, lift it up, down, lock it in place. So, see that? See the wood? Let me see you lock it in place and unlock it for me. All right, good. Go ahead and lay it up. We're going to cut now. All right. The first cut I want you to make, or the first cut we're going to make a square cut. Just a straight line cut, cutting it straight off. I'm not going to measure it because we're going to just guess I'm going to measure it, cut it on. Always allow the saw to come on first. Okay. Now we're going to use the blade to have the blade stop and get the piece of cut wood if you want to use that piece. All right, that's just to make the first cut, minor cut. And next cut I'm going to make is going to be the minor cut. I'm going to cut it at 45 degrees to the, I'm going to cut a 30-degree angle. So the wood is still on the fence. Help me get the fence. Your hand hold the wood in place. Taking the saw, cutting it on. Okay, that's a cut. Minor cut at 30 degrees. All right, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to put it back in place. And let me see you cut off a square cut and a 30-degree minor. All right. All right. And me, 89, rotate it 30. Lock in place, just tighten it up. Okay, go ahead and make it cut. All right, okay, now, good. All right, that's those two cuts. How I'm going to get a piece, I'm going to demonstrate to you how to cut a piece that's wider than 6 inches. Okay, save this piece just for that. Line back up and cut a straight cut. Sure, All right, now, pull the blade down, show you, pull the blade down once again. Notice that it does not cut all the way across, okay? Now, pull it back before you do anything, pull it all the way back. Okay, go on, we're gonna do that right there. Hold on just a second, let it up. All right, a little wider than I wanted to be for this demonstration. Hold on 1 second, so I can get another piece. Okay, let's use this piece. Let's take it up and pull it back. Okay. Put your hands on it here to hold it. You got to always tighten it up. Make sure it's against the fence. Notice that it won't cut all the way. Now pull it all the way back. All right. Put it on. How you cut it when the water's in a 2 before, maybe 6 inches wide. Let's go ahead and cut the same piece at an angle now, so you can see how it feels when you cut on an angle. All right, pull it all the way back. There you go. All right, good enough. Okay, now. Okay, so this is put it back at 0 for us. Oh, when you finish cutting, put it back at 0. All right, put it back at 0. Good. All right, now, once you finish working with the saw, or you finish doing the job that you're going to do and don't plan to use it anymore, first thing you're going to do is disconnect it from the power. Okay. And okay. And so that for the next person it'll be clean for them. I got the X line already connected for you. Pull the L line down. There you go. Lock the blade in place. All right. We'll start off for the next person. Okay, second is good. Stand over there for a second. We're gonna do another lesson on something different. Saw, straight cut and line cut on the base. This is also called a compound line. And I'm gonna show you how to use the word compound, meaning it cuts both angles at the same time. Okay? So to get the compound, and we've been rotating the base. Now we're gonna rotate the motor or the blade. Okay? Look, notice that these gauges are back here. Now, notice that gauge there. See this little red switch here? We're going to pull it out, and that'll allow us. Go ahead and hit me. I can't keep it. Right. Pull it, and then pick up on it. Turn it down. Turn it down. Pick it up. Turn it down. We're going to do this. Okay. Pull it out. Pull it. Okay. Come on. There you go. 45 degrees. Now you lock it back in place. See that? So it don't move. Okay, now we can cut a 45. The 45 we just cut a second ago was we laid it flat and it came straight across the surface, which is end to end. Now we're going to cut it as like you slicing a cake, which is the slice side of it. Let me show you that. Okay. All right. Let's go it on and, if you will, let the blade back up. Support your power. It's power source that together. Now, I'm going to do a demonstration for you this time. On this case, now here's a slice. We use this slice method here. I use the word slice, that's just a nice little view. We're going to cut this compound motor in this direction so that when you're laying molding together or you're cutting trim, it lays on top of each other. You bust together and lay one on top of the next. And I'll do 2 demonstrations. Since it's a small piece, we're going to go down and cut it down, same method. At the power, whether you left or right, doesn't matter. You You got to switch both sides. I'm right-handed, so I'm using the right side. Now, see the difference in the lighters. This miter is with the grain going one way, the other miter is going across the grain that way. That's the two different types of miters that you're looking at right there. Now, I can take that same miter, then I can put 145 going one way, and then I can turn around and now you're going to compound it, and the same miter going at a 45, the slant way you cut the other one, but we cut it in both directions, okay? This is how. And notice the slant on the wood. 145 going one way, the other 45 going the opposite way. Yes, sir. We use this when we cut we use this type of method when we cutting rafters to go on hip valley hips, cripple jacks. And so we set on top of a roof like that. And that's how they look. Or we can cut like this at 45 and build stands and things of that nature. We don't use it a lot in our shop, but you need to know that we use the circular saw to do most of the time we couldn't record. But you can cut them on your miter saw because it's portable. You put them on the job, and you cut on the job. That's a compound miter. Cut both angles. Cut one going one direction, and one going the opposite direction. I want you to feel the cut itself. Then let you go down and feel that cut, and see how it feels when you make a cut. That's the first cut. Hold it tight, always keep it against the fence, holding it in. Alright, that's your first cut. Good enough. Gotta take that waist. Alright, move it on now and rotate it to 45. Make your compound cut. The lock completed, right on. You gotta lock it in place. Alright, line it over a little bit more so you can get it. Hands out the way, all the way, holding it tight against the rip fence so that the wood doesn't move. All right, I saw how you kind of got weak on me there. You kind of let it move, but that's okay. But now you understand the concept. When we do that, you can take these two pieces on your compound side, you put them together, and you come up with something that looks like that right there. We'll be making R ends and outs. You just trim it, and it looks like that. You building corners. That's how we use it. Okay? That's how that works right there. And that allows the other piece to come underneath it and go forward with it from that angle right there. Right there. Okay. So that's how we do that. All right. So now I've given you some safety features on the miter saw. We're gonna put it back at 0, or when you finish your work up, or we put it back at 0 for the next person. May not understand how to do it, because all these different levels of training. Okay, set the compound back up to 0. Pull it out, rotate it up. All right, I got it. Go ahead on, you got it. You got that gun, lock it in place. Okay, pull the blade down. When you get it down, pull the blade down, lock it in place. Okay, now stop right there. I want you finna do it now, but you always do it later. Anything you put your hand on the blade, you're gonna do what first? Disconnect from the power. But it could accidentally come on. It's man-made, could be electrical circuit. It's something that's not planned that happens. Accidentally not planned, it just happened. So he could have had electrical surge, power could have came on while you were making that adjustment. So always remember that if you're gonna make adjustments with it, you're gonna put your hands on the blade and on the motor, unplug the power. Got that? Unplug the power. All right, once you finish doing all that, you clean it up again, okay? Okay, this is just a quick reference on the compound miter stuff. We're gonna just use the word miter stuff so that we can continue to grow and develop. Now we have 2 miter saws in the shop. This is the portable. That's the stationary over there on the wall over there. They both do the same thing. This is just stationary because we can roll out on the ramp right here in the good fresh air and work from the outside. Okay. Again, let's go back over the safety feature that you want to do always. Now, this. You don't want it to move. All right, now, you can adjust the carrying case just by taking your hand and pulling up on it. And I want you to see these little pins at the bottom, okay? These little pins, I want you to see these like this right here, about to listen to it. The pins come out, that means they it'll collect. Okay, just push forward on it, and it goes down and make it into a smaller version. Okay? Because you don't have to, can't always carry the whole thing. And you go ahead and push down, put it on, pick up on and push forward. Okay? Come on, pick it up. Okay, yeah, pick up on that. Like you're gonna roll it around. Come on. No. Okay, I got you. Okay, here we go. I just want you first. It's portable. I just want you to know you can pick it up and move. Okay, that's all I'm trying to point to you. It's portable to move. All right. And how high it is, if I wanted to come down some, then I would always just take this switch right here, and this switch is just the height that allows it to come. Okay? We don't have to do it today because we're gonna run out of time for our lesson, and we'll do it on the next demonstration that you have, which is how to move it safely and how to load and unload it safely. Okay? Yes, sir. We'll do that then. You got any questions?
No, sir.
Good. We'll get the room, let's clean up, and we'll call that the lesson for today.
Okay.